There's a secret in the world of elite, private universities. The professors get the glory, the alumni get the buildings named after them, but the people who actually keep the multi-billion-dollar machine running are the staff. I'm talking about the facilities managers, the administrators, and the IT department. To compensate for the modest salaries, these universities offer one golden perk: 100% tuition remission for employees and their spouses. My name is Mark. I'm 35 years old, and I am the Director of Network Security for a very prestigious, very expensive private university on the East Coast. 4 years ago, I married Lauren. Lauren was 27, working a dead-end job as a paralegal, but she was fiercely ambitious. She dreamed of becoming a high-powered corporate attorney. When we got serious, I told her about my benefits package. Her eyes lit up like I had just handed her a winning lottery ticket. A year after our wedding, Lauren enrolled in the university's elite dual degree program, a joint JD/MBA. It's a grueling 3-year program that costs roughly $80,000 a year in tuition alone. But for Lauren, it was completely free. I was her golden ticket. I was so proud of her. While she studied, I worked my day job, took care of the house, cooked the meals, and paid all our living expenses. I thought I was investing in our shared future. I didn't realize I was just a scholarship program she planned to cancel the moment she graduated.
As Lauren got deeper into the JD/MBA program, she changed. She was surrounded by the children of senators, hedge fund managers, and CEOs. She started trying to blend in with them, and in doing so, she started trying to erase me. The red flags didn't just appear, they were paraded in front of me. First, the disrespect. Lauren started treating me less like a husband and more like the help. If we attended a faculty or student mixer, she would introduce me quickly and then physically step in front of me to talk to someone more important. One night, I overheard her telling a classmate, "Mark's sweet, but he's just university staff. He fixes routers. He doesn't really understand corporate strategy." Second, the new study partner. Enter Trent. Trent was a 26-year-old legacy student. His father owned a massive private equity firm in New York. Trent wore designer loafers to class and drove a leased Audi. Suddenly, Lauren was spending every evening doing group work with Trent at expensive coffee shops or in private library study rooms. Third, the future plans. For 2 years, we talked about buying a house in the suburbs after she graduated. Suddenly, she was talking about moving to Manhattan, getting an apartment in Tribeca, and finding herself. When I asked how we would afford that, she got defensive and said, "I'll be making $250,000 a year at a white shoe law firm, Mark. I'll figure it out." Notice how she said I, not we.
The biggest mistake you can make when plotting against your husband is forgetting that he runs the IT department for the exact network you are using to cheat on him. I wasn't actively spying on her, but Lauren came to me in a panic one Sunday. She had spilled coffee on her MacBook and needed me to recover her files for a massive midterm. I took her hard drive out, plugged it into my forensic workstation, and started migrating the data. While the files were transferring, her iMessage archive popped up on my screen, automatically syncing. A message from Trent caught my eye. It wasn't about a study guide. I clicked it, and my entire world collapsed. They had been sleeping together for over a year, but it was the sheer, calculated malice of her plan that made me sick to my stomach. Trent wrote, "My dad's firm officially approved your junior partner offer for after graduation, $200,000 base salary. When are you dropping the IT guy?" Lauren replied, "The day after I walk across that stage and get my diploma. I'm not stupid, Trent.
If I divorce him now, the university revokes my tuition waiver, and I owe $80,000 for this year. I just have to play the loving wife for 3 more months. He's my free ride. Once the ink on my degree is dry, I'm handing him the papers and coming to New York. I sat in my home office, staring at the screen. 4 years of marriage. 3 years of cooking, cleaning, and supporting her. I was nothing but a coupon code to her, a financial loophole she exploited to get into the 1%.
If you try to hack a server, the firewall will block you. But if you walk through the front door using stolen credentials, you can destroy everything. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. I calmly finished recovering her data, handed her the new laptop, and smiled. "All fixed, honey. Good luck on your midterm." She kissed me and called me her lifesaver. I went to my office and pulled up the University Employee Benefits Handbook. I read the fine print on the spousal tuition remission program. It stated that the waiver is contingent on the spouse maintaining good academic standing, but there was a specific nuclear clause. In the event a recipient is expelled for gross academic misconduct, the tuition waiver is retroactively voided for the entire duration of the degree program. The student assumes full financial liability for all previously waived tuition. Lauren was 3 months away from graduating. She just needed to pass her final capstone project, a massive 100-page corporate financial modeling thesis. The problem for Lauren was that she was a terrible analyst. She was great at talking, but she couldn't write a Python script or build a complex Excel algorithm to save her life. 2 weeks later, she came to me, crying fake tears. "Mark, I'm failing my capstone. I don't understand the data models. If I fail, I don't graduate. Trent is too busy to help. Can you please write the code for me? You're so good at this." I looked at my cheating, manipulative wife, and I smiled. "Of course, baby. I'll build the whole model for you."
I spent the next month writing her entire capstone project. I built an incredibly complex, flawless data model analyzing corporate mergers. It was guaranteed to get an A+. But I am an IT security expert. I don't just write code. I write code that leaves a trail. I embedded a digital watermark deep inside the metadata of the files. But I went further. I wrote a hidden macro in the Excel model. If you pressed a specific combination of keys, Control-Shift-F9, the model would visually collapse and a hidden spreadsheet would pop up on the screen. On that hidden sheet, I had coded a message. This academic project was authored entirely by Mark, my last name, IT director. Lauren, her last name, did not contribute to this model. Below that, I embedded the timestamps of my work done on my university-issued computer. I handed her the completed project on a flash drive. She submitted it to the grading committee the next day, completely oblivious. She didn't even read the code. She just put her name on it. The week before graduation, the final presentations were scheduled. Every student had to present their capstone live in front of the dean of the business school, the head of the law school, and their peers. I took the morning off work, I put on a nice suit, and I walked over to the auditorium.
Lauren was standing at the podium in front of a massive projector screen. Trent was sitting in the front row, smirking. The dean and 3 senior professors were sitting at the judges' table. Lauren was presenting the data model I built, taking all the credit, talking about her late nights coding the algorithms. When it was time for the Q&A, the dean asked her to demonstrate how the predictive model handled a specific stress test. Lauren froze. She didn't know how the model actually worked. She started clicking randomly on the laptop connected to the projector. I stood up from the back of the auditorium. "Lauren," I said, my voice echoing in the silent room, "try pressing Control, Shift, and F9. It will run the diagnostic." She looked relieved. She thought I was saving her. She looked down at the keyboard and pressed the keys. On the massive 20-foot projector screen, in front of the entire faculty and her cohort,
the financial model vanished. In giant, bold, red letters, the hidden macro flashed on the screen. This academic project was authored entirely by Mark last name. Lauren did not contribute to this model. This submission constitutes academic fraud. The auditorium erupted in gasps. The dean stood up, his face purple with rage. Trent physically recoiled in his seat. Lauren stared at the screen, her mouth hanging open in absolute horror. She looked at me, tears instantly welling in her eyes. "Mark, what did you do?" "I fixed your problem," I said calmly. I walked down the aisle, dropped a manila envelope on her podium, and looked at Trent. "By the way, the divorce papers are in there. Have fun in New York." I turned around and walked out of the building.
You do not mess with the academic integrity board of an Ivy League institution. Lauren was immediately suspended pending a hearing. I handed the ethics committee my forensic logs, proving I had written every single line of code on my computer, along with the text messages of her admitting she was using me for a free degree. 2 weeks before graduation, Lauren was officially expelled for severe academic misconduct. She didn't get her JD, she didn't get her MBA. 3 years of elite schooling completely erased. But the real nuke hit her a week later. Because she was expelled for fraud, HR executed the clause in the benefits handbook. Her tuition remission was retroactively voided. The university's billing department sent her a bill for $240,000. When she couldn't pay it, they sent it to a federal collections agency. Trent's father, the private equity billionaire, found out she was expelled for fraud. He immediately rescinded her $200,000 job offer. He didn't want a disgraced, degreeless liar at his firm. The moment the job offer evaporated, Trent dumped her and blocked her number. During the divorce, she tried to force me to pay half of the $240,000 debt. My lawyer pointed out that the debt was incurred entirely due to her personal academic fraud and criminal misconduct. The judge agreed. She was saddled with 100% of the $250,000 debt. It's been 2 years since that presentation. I'm still at the university. In fact, I was promoted to Chief Information Officer. Loves me for who I am, not for what my benefits package can buy her. As for Lauren, without a law degree, without a business degree, and with $250,000 in toxic debt ruining her credit, her Manhattan dreams died. Last I heard, she moved back to her hometown in the Midwest and is working as a shift manager at a coffee shop, watching a quarter of her paycheck get garnished by debt collectors every month. If there is a lesson to be learned here, it's this: never bite the hand that feeds you, especially if that hand writes the code. If someone is using your hard work to climb the ladder while simultaneously planning to kick you off it, don't argue with them. Just keep building the ladder. And right when they reach the very top, pulls a final rung out from under them. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed this one, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's the worst group project partner you've ever had? Stay smart, and always hide your metadata.